Hello, I'm Andy Fandango, and when I'm not creating videos about old computers, I am actually a software developer. I was working in a major global investment bank in London when I decided I wanted to do something a bit more creative.
Are you mad?
So I had this crazy idea to write a graphics engine that would enable me to create games in a cartoon or retro style. And that's what I spent 7 months doing. I got some demos working, and that's when I started to post videos of my progress online. This one shows the mechanics engine and the terrain rendering. I made a version of Space Invaders as well, just to check out that everything hangs together and that I could actually make a game with it. So now I was ready to make a game, and I had a basic idea of the sort of thing I wanted to do. In my first game dev update, you can see that I've got some of the basic interactions in place, some of the graphics, the scrolling movement, and the waypoints are there as well. By the time of the second update, I've got most of the major actors in place and animated nicely and interacting with each other. It's clearly not finished, but it is playable now. So after working in my bunker for a year, it was time to face the world and go to my first retro gaming show. I had someone come in to do a round of testing, but this is the first time the general public had played the game. That resulted in quite a lot of feedback, so more post-its were written up. By the time of the third update, there were significant improvements made to the game. The objectives were clearer and the map was much nicer. So what's changed since the last update? First thing is that the safety zone graphic has changed to be similar to the root graphics. It's a cleaner and more consistent design. There's also a new pickup range indicator in a similar style to the safety zone, but slightly fainter and further out. It makes it more obvious when objects are in range to pick up and when they're not. You may have already noticed that there's a cloud layer that's new. That's there to give a sense of depth as we move around. It works well with the stars reflected in the water. Here we are on the other side of the facility with blue water instead of green. Here we've got some new abandoned lab equipment graphics. They even give off gas bubbles. And this is one of the ill-fated experiments, left abandoned and thrashing around, but not doing much else. We can walk under it, but it does give off gas bubbles, so it will wear you down. As part of an extensive review of the map, I've tried to tidy up the paths between waypoints so they're much clearer and easier to see. Excuse me for just a moment while I shoot at this robot duck. We've got gas bubbles coming from more places now, not just from distressed enemies. Behind the scenes there have been big improvements on the game loop speed, the efficiency of the cache and memory use. There's a new start screen and a system check to make sure you've got enough memory and processor. And I've done loads of work on the menus. In general settings, you can select the control method you want to use, the sound level you want, and whether you want to see text hints during play. In display settings, you can set the level of graphical detail if you're finding it too fussy or if it's slowing you down. As long as you've reached that level before, you can also select the level that you start on. This is what level 6 looks like. So I think I'm not too far off a finished game. I'll keep the website updated as I progress towards publishing. Thanks for watching.